Hey guys, Mo Trapper. I know it's been a while. I apologize for that. It's just been a busy summer, and I haven't done a whole lot. Haven't done a whole lot as far as trapping goes. Just getting my traps ready as usual. I've already got videos on that out there. I did the same boiling and logwood trap tie and the same dip in full metal jacket that I've always done. So that seems to work pretty well for me. I did that probably in June sometime. I made wax sand through June and July. Again, I've got videos on it. I did it the same way I've always done it. So I've got a good supply of wax sand this year. I think more than I've ever made. I think I've got 14 um, 5-gallon buckets full. So hopefully that'll last me. Hopefully we have a little bit better winter as far as not quite so wet, not quite, I mean, cold is good. I don't mind cold at all, but it's the wet. And then it's the, um, you know, above freezing and then below freezing, right? I would like for it to stay dry and cold. As long as it stays dry, it can get above freezing and drop below each day and night like it normally does. But if it warms up through the day and rains and then freezes that night and then does the same thing the next day, that gets pretty hard to keep a trap line working, right? So um, we'll see how it goes. Of course, nobody can predict the weather or affect the weather, but it's just fingers crossed that I made enough wax dirt or wax sand and that we can get through the season and keep the line moving. I showed you guys in the last video, I think, that I did about some cables. So I think I caught as many coyotes last season in cables as I did in footholds, which I've never caught a cable coyote prior to last season. So um, that's pretty good. I think I've kind of got it figured out now. It took me several seasons to really get the whole cable restraint thing down. They work really well in that freeze thaw situation. So basically, the reason I went to cables is because I ran out of wax sand. Um, so now with that kind of experience, and they worked well. So with that, good effect, I think I'll probably run more cables this year than I have in the past. I think I'll run them along with my footholds. They're really easy to put in. They're easy to check. I mean, a lot of times you're going to put them on a deer trail because that's the same trail that the coyotes are running, right? So they get knocked down a lot. That's the biggest thing. You got to put them back up, and that's it. I mean, they're pretty easy and they're pretty effective. I did have one coyote get out, not get out. He still had the cable restraint on his neck when he ran off. I hooked them. I hooked the um, cable stake to the cable restraint with a one of the snap rings, one of the it's like a big key ring, right? Split ring, I think they call them. The guys from Hoosier Trapper use them a lot to connect the drags. Well, um, F&T was giving them away, when you placed your order. So I had the small ones. They seem fairly sturdy to me. I didn't really think about it all that much. I got up to a coyote that was in the cable restraint. He was, of course, making a big loop and barking and freaking out. Um, just as I got out of my side by side with my pistol to dispatch him, I heard a ping type noise and looked up, and he was running through the field, far away already. By the time I looked up, because I heard that noise and I thought that's an odd noise. Um, so after that, I doubled it. So I put two of the small snap rings on there, and that held coyotes just fine. I don't think I'll do it that way anymore. I think I'll attach a swivel. So that's how I did it in the past. I had those split rings. I thought, that way I don't have to get, two J hooks and a swivel. I'll just do that. So after that, I doubled them up. They held fine, but I don't have a bunch of those snap rings. I don't have enough to run enough cables that I plan to run this year. I plan to run more cables this year, so I wouldn't have enough of them to double them up. And they're kind of a pain to double up, so I think I'm just gonna use a swivel and two J hooks like I had excuse me, on cable restraints that I ran in the past. So anyway, that's cable restraints, and I'm going to do more of that this season. So what else? I just got back from the Missouri Trappers Rendezvous 2024. You can see my super snazzy hat here. So that's a lifetime member. I did go ahead and get my lifetime membership to the Missouri Trappers Association. It's a good organization. The Rendezvous was great. It's fairly small, you know, but everything you need was there for sure. There were some new folks there that I had not seen before. Dale Billingsley was there, which was cool. I talked to him for a bit. Seems like a really good guy. Seems very knowledgeable. He's up in Iowa. He makes baits and lures, and he's got a YouTube channel. He puts out some good videos. Of course, I talked to Leon at Top Lot and Kendall at No BS. I got another dozen No BS Ken Extreme Juniors. I really like those traps. I think they're the best thing going right now. Unfortunately, I learned from those guys that Liesl Rusat is no longer going to be making baits and lures and urine. So that was the biggest thing that I used from Liesl. First of all, he's a great guy, and I'm really sorry to see, you know, him be excuse me, kind of out of the bait and lure game. So I think he made some great stuff. I think the best thing that he made was urine. So he had foxes and bobcats and other animals, you know, that he raised for urine, and his bobcat urine is unbelievable. It's the best that there is. So I stocked up on a little bit of it because it's not going to be available anymore. I suggest if you guys are you know, if you use Rusat's urine, to go get it wherever you can get it, because there won't be any more of it. Same with the bait and lure. So if you like some of Liesl stuff, go out and get what's left out there, because that's going to be the last time you see it, unfortunately. What else? A couple people recognized me and came up and said that they liked the channel, and we chatted with several folks for a while. That was pretty cool. Very encouraging. I know I've not made a lot of videos recently, but I am going to really try this season to do more filming, document some more things, you know, and put out more content that way. The folks that like it have it out there to watch and enjoy. So what else? I picked up some new baits and lures. One that I picked up that I actually used last year, but I don't think I talked about, was Cleats Apple Road Bobcat Plus. That stuff is phenomenal, guys. I caught, you know, I think 5 or 6 cats, and I think almost everyone, if not everyone, was using some of that Cleats Bobcat Plus. So Bobcat Plus is his Bobcat gland lure, and he adds skunk and he adds catnip. And it's a great Bobcat lure. So go out and grab some of that. It's limited supply too, so kind of like with Rusat's baits and lures right now. If you want them, go get them. Go order them now. What else? Man, I think that's it. Again, had a great time at the Rendezvous. Watched some really good demos. Jim Love did one on otter toilets. So I do have a lot of otter toilets, and I catch otters, but not as many as I would like to. So he's got kind of a neat way of putting a set on an otter toilet. So we're going to try that this year, see if that works. He seems like a really knowledgeable guy, so look forward to trying that out. The only other thing that I may do this year, and I hope to do this year, is some nighttime coyote hunting. So I got some equipment that will allow me to do that. We have a season here in Missouri from February 1st to the end of March, I believe that's right. But there is a night, you know, thermal hunting season here for coyotes in Missouri. So we're going to try some of that. and hopefully I can get some footage of that too. I mean, I know the device that I'm using will allow for video. I don't know. I don't have night filming equipment, and I'm not getting it because I'm sure it's really expensive. So I'm not sure how we'll do, the regular video like this. Maybe I just sit kind of here like I normally do and talk, and then I'll put in some of that video. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Or maybe we'll video, uh, once the hunt's over and we can use lights. Maybe we'll video some out in the field as well. But anyway, those are the things that I'm working on. I appreciate everybody watching, subscribing, and all that stuff. And I hope to put out more content this year. I should be running a pretty decent line for at least a while this year because I do have some new permissions. So we'll see. We're going to try to knock them dead. I hope you guys are getting ready for season. I hope you're fired up. I hope you are doing well. Another thing that I wanted to talk about real quick is I talked to several dealers. Minnesota Trapline was there. Doran Miller, who's a Missouri Trappers Hall of Famer, great guy. He was there. I talked to both of them. I talked to Kendall as well, with no BS, a little bit about it. It seems like they're seeing more trappers. I know that Missouri actually sold more licenses this year than they did last year, which is the first time in a long time that's happened. So I think that's a good thing. It wasn't a lot. It was a couple hundred, I think. But that's a good thing. But what the dealers are telling me is they're seeing more people, so more trappers, but those trappers are buying smaller amounts, right? Which makes a lot of sense if you think about it, because it's gone from guys who were going to make money doing it, right? They're going to go out and run a long line and catch, 300-400 raccoon and, sell those for 15, 18 bucks a piece, right? That turns into a pretty good little check pretty fast. Now it's going to guys who know they're not going to be able to sell the fur, right? They're not really doing it for that. They're buying 3 traps, 6 traps, right? They're just getting into it. They're trying to control predators on their own property. They're trying to control predators maybe on a hunting lease, something like that. So that's the sway. That's the swing that we're seeing. We're seeing more guys buying smaller amounts of equipment and bait and lure because they're doing much, much smaller lines, right? And they're probably catching much, much fewer animals. With the fur market the way it is, I think that's the best we can kind of hope for, is that we get more guys. Maybe those guys do a little bit less, but hey, that's okay. As long as they're getting into it, some percentage of those guys will get hooked and expand, some percentage probably will give up, but that's just kind of how it is. But that's what I understand to be the state of kind of the market right now. I don't know how the fur market is. I know that I was told before the fur market, before I shipped this past season, that beavers will sell 100%. Bobcats are doing very well. They're going to sell out. But the raccoons you sent in are not going to sell. They're just not going to sell. You might as well throw them in the trash can. And what happened is my beavers didn't sell, my bobcats didn't sell, and my raccoons did. And my raccoons averaged $9 a piece. So, listen to the fur market analysis. I think, I can't think of his name, the guy that's up in Maine trapping today, or not trapping, I can't remember, but there's a podcast and a YouTube channel. Gosh, I don't know why I can't think of that guy's name. I bought some lure from him last year, and it worked pretty well, actually. Anyway, seems like a great guy. He always does a trapping fur market update, and I always, listen to it or watch it, and am very, impressed with his knowledge of the fur market and everything, but I don't know that anybody knows what's going to happen. I think, your guess is as good as mine. It's as good as his. It's as good as anybody's. So catch what you're going to catch. Don't worry about it. Put it up if you want to put it up. Freeze it if you want to freeze it. Sell it to Grinwald. Ship it to FHA. Sell it to your local guy. Take what you can get for it and just, be happy. And don't worry about it too much. That's my advice. That's what I'm doing. So anyway, I think that's about all I got. So anyway, lifetime member, I encourage you all to join your local state trapping organization. You know, whoever you've got in your state, join it. NTA, I'm not a lifetime member, but I am a member, a yearly member of National Trappers Association. Those folks are out there fighting the good fight in the legislative bodies, in the state houses, in the national capital, uh, and they are trying to preserve our freedoms and our right to trap, and it's important. So I encourage everybody to do that. And I think that's about it. Thanks.